And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella, based on the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 3 ugly, mean stepsisters named Olive, Nina, and Esme. Olive, Nina, and Esme made Cinderella do all the chores. "Sweep the floors, wash the dishes," said Olive, Nina, and Esme. One day, the king of Onlyville's messenger said, hear ye, the king of Onlyville is going to throw a ball. And whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Singling. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. Olive said, he's going to marry me. Nina said, no way, Olive. He's going to marry me. Esme said, both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Later, Cinderella is so sad that she cannot go to the ball and marry Prince Singling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks Cinderella what is wrong. Why are you crying, Cinderella? She asks. Cinderella responds, I wanted her to go to the ball and marry Prince Singling, but I'm not welcome. The fairy godmother waved her wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! And then, Cinderella's chores are all done. But the fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, Cinderella, go fetch me a good old pumpkin. Luckily, Cinderella has one pumpkin. The fairy godmother waved her magic wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! Again, and to turn Cinderella's do-rag and clothes into a gown. I've never seen such a wonderful gown. I get a load of my glass slippers, and then the pumpkin into a carriage drawn by 2 strong horses. The fairy godmother said, have fun, Cinderella, but I will warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Singling was wondering who he should marry. Olive, Nina, and Esme said all together, he's walking towards me. But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Singling dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Singling was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled around Onlyville to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door of the house where her Cinderella and her stepsisters lived. He said, ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try this glass slipper? Olive is first, but her foot is too big. Nina is next, but her foot is too small. Esme is last, but her foot didn't fit either. Suddenly, Prince Singling noticed Cinderella singing. Cinderella said, Prince Singling, is that you? Prince Singling said, of course it's me. Cinderella gets so excited because she's having to have her Prince Singling back. And they lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story before bed, Hinder's Doors, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to my video. Take care. Bye and good night, everybody. Andrew's Doers. Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella 2 Wishes Come True. It's this. It is based on Cinderella 2 Dreams Come True. Once upon two times, Cinderella and Prince Singling were happily married. 6 months later, they are pregnant, but Cinderella is sick, so the baby might die. Cinderella's fairy godmother knows a spell that can cure her. She chants the magic words, Winnerly, Wannerly, One, and waves her magic wand, and the baby is cured. And the baby is a boy named Oliver. Olive, Nina, and Esme have a few tricks up their sleeves, though. They are complaining about not marrying Prince Singling. Another 6 months later, Oliver is almost 6 months old. And he can't wait to have his royal birthday party, and it's tomorrow. The next day is Oliver's royal birthday party. Cinderella asks, what about our gift, father-in-law? Oliver has now a magical necklace previously owned by the King of Onlyville when he was a baby. He needs to make a wish, rub the jewel on it, and the wish will come true. The King of Onlyville's imaginary wakes him up now. Sees that Olive, Nina, and Esme are breaking into the party. He says, oh no, they're trouble! Oh, big trouble! He then goes over to the king and tells him, Your Majesty, your son and daughter-in-law are in trouble. The King of Onlyville gets so infuriated he yells, sound the alarm! The King of Onlyville blows a trumpet that the king's guards hear an attack. Olive, Nina, and Esme attempt to escape. Oliver said, and I wish Olive, Nina, and Esme are trapped, rubs the jewel on it. Olive, Nina, and Esme are now trapped in the castle's dungeon. And so, the birthday party is saved. And he, alongside his parents, lives happily ever after. The end. Andrew's Doors, I hope you enjoyed this story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And buy our merchandise. Take care. Bye. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents you guys Andrew's Doors Cinderella 3, Love and Glee, the second sequel to Cinderella based on the story of Cinderella. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon 3 times, Cinderella and Prince Singling really loved each other. Well, that's about to change, thanks to Olive, Nina, and Esme, who are making a single forever breakup potion, the most evil magic potion known to Onlyville. The next day is Oliver's very first birthday party. Olive, Nina, and Esme sneak up behind a fence next to the gate to the party. Cinderella's fairy godmother tries to stop them, but Olive, Nina, and Esme steal her wand and lock her up, and then splash the potion on Cinderella and Prince Singling, who are breaking up. Oliver asks Cinderella's fairy godmother, "Is there anything I could do to reverse it?" Cinderella's fairy godmother explained that there's only one thing that can reverse the single forever breakup potion. The 1+1 bat together potion. It needs 10 apples from the garden of the whistling nose, 11 dashes of 1,000 unicorns, and the most important ingredient of all, one huge dose of love. First, Oliver needs 10 apples. The whistling nose is very kind. He even lets Oliver have his 10 apples from his trees. Next, he needs 11 dashes of 1,000 unicorns. Hey! The whistling nose already has 11,000 unicorns. Later, back at home, Oliver makes the 1+1 bat together potion, and Cinderella and Prince Singling are back together, and Cinderella's fairy godmother got her wand back. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. Andrew's Doers, if you want to see maybe on someday Cinderella 4, The Legend of Mount Singlemore, tell your friends about it. And if you, maybe this can be a 22N daily tradition, etc. Take care, Andrew's Doers. Bye. And now, Andrew Knows Everything proudly presents 13erella. It is based on the story of Cinderella. Let's tell you the story, shall we? It's a Friday the 13th special. Once upon a time, there was a young girl named 13erella. 13erella had 8 ugly, mean stepsisters named Tina, Hannah, Isabella, Rena, Tanya, the twins Elena and Ella, and Nina. Tina, Hannah, Isabella, Rena, Tanya, Elena, Ella, and Nina made 13erella do all the chores. Sweep for the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Tina, Hannah, Isabella, Rena, Tanya, Elena, Ella, and Nina all together. One day, the king of Tridecagonal's messenger said, "Hear ye, hear ye! The king of Tridecagonal is going to throw it by, and whoever has the most beautiful gown God shall marry his son, Prince Tridecagonal." But 13erella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. They argue over who will marry Prince Tridecagonal. Later, 13erella is so sad that she can't go to the ball and marry Prince Tridecagonal. Well, her fairy godmother asks what's wrong by saying, "Why are you crying?" 13erella? 13erella responds, "I got lots of chores to be done, and I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Tridecagonal." Her fairy godmother said, I could help with a bit of magic." 13erella's fairy godmother waved her magic wand, and all 13erella's chores were done. But 13erella's fairy godmother was not done yet. She said, 13erella, go fetch me a pumpkin." Luckily, 13erella has 13 pumpkins. Her fairy godmother turns 13erella's clothes into a Ganacron, and then the 13 puck gets into a hands of coach by the 26 strong horses. 13 said, I've never seen such a Tridecagonal gown. And get a lot of my glass slippers. Her fairy godmother said, have fun, 13 but I would warn you. Return home before midnight or the spell will be broken. 13 accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Tridecagonal was wondering who he should marry. Tina, Hannah, Isabella, Rena, Tanya, Elena, Ella, and Nina all say all together. He's walking towards me, but he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards 13 and Prince Tridecagonal danced together. But later, 13 realizes it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Tridecagonal was so worried that he might never see 13 again. So he traveled around and Tridecagonal had to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door of the home where 13 and her stepsisters lived. But instead of 13 he finds Tina, Hannah, Isabella, Rena, Tanya, Ella, Elena, and Nina. Prince Tridecagonal said, ladies, I have a favor to ask. You try on this glass slipper. Tina is first, but her foot is too big. Hannah is next, but her foot is too small. All the rest are the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, Prince Tridecagonal notices 13 sweet saying, the glass slipper fits! And 13 gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Tridecagonal back. And they both lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this bedtime story this morning. Friday the 13th special. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Knows Everything. And buy our merchandise, watch more videos, etc. Take care, Andrew Stores. Bye. And now, Andrew Knows Everything proudly presents 13 2. 13 Wishes Come True. A sequel to 13 based on the story of Cinderella. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon two times, 13 and Prince Tridecagonal were happily married. But Tina, Hannah, Isabella, Rena, Tanya, Elena, Ella, and Nina have lots of tricks up their sleeves. Several weeks later, 13 is pregnant, but at the end, she gets sick, so the baby might die. Luckily, 13's fairy godmother knows a spot that can cure her. She waves her magic wand to do it, and just in time, the baby is cured, and a girl. 13 and Prince Tridecagonal named her Bertina to celebrate her birth, a fireworks show. And everyone in Tridecagonal has so many gifts for Bertina, especially the king of Tridecagonal, who has a magical necklace, but only remembers one thing it does: make a wish and rub the jewel on it. He can't remember anything else, but Bertina's magical necklace does. Meanwhile, Tina, Hannah, Isabella, Rena, Tanya, Elena, Ella, and Nina are trying to think of a way to kill Cinderella. While they were doing that, Nina, the youngest stepsister, stumbles upon a treasure chest. And inside the chest is a magic medallion that causes bad luck. This gives Tina, Hannah, Isabella, Rena, Tanya, Elena, Ella, Nina an idea. Later, Tina is almost a half a year old. Tina, Hannah, Isabella, Rena, Tanya, Elena, Ella, and Nina use the magic medallion's battle to kill Cinderella. But before they could start, Cinderella's fairy godmother and Bertina trap them in a bubble. Steal the magic medallion and put it back into the chest. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. And if you want to see some more sequels, tell your friends about it. Maybe this can be a monthly tradition. I've been debating on making the Cinderella based on the story of Cinderella sequels a bit of a monthly tradition. So, if you want to see Cinderella 3, Tridecagonal, Love, and Glee on August 13, 2025, maybe I can. Take care! Bye! And good night, everybody! And now Introducers! Introduce Everything proudly presents Cinderella 3, Tridecagonal, Love, and Glee. A second sequel to Cinderella based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon 3 times, Cinderella and Prince Tridecagonal really loved each other and their daughter Bertina. But Tina, Hannah, Isabella, Rena, Tanya, Elena, Ella, and Nina still had lots of tricks up their sleeves. Still can do anything to stop them. They're making a terrible 13 breakup potion. The most evil magic potion known to Tridecagonal. The next day, Cinderella and Prince Tridecagonal's anniversary. But Tina, Hannah, Isabella, Rena, Tanya, Elena, and Elena splashed the terrible 13 breakup potion on Cinderella and Prince Tridecagonal, who are now breaking up. Is there anything I can do to reverse the terrible 13 breakup potion on Mommy and Daddy? Asks Bertina. Luckily, her grandfather, the king of Tridecagonal, explains that there's only one thing to reverse the terrible 13 breakup potion. The Tridecagonal Back Together potion, which is hidden in an ancient temple, way on top of Mount 13 or more. 13,000 miles away from Tridecagonal with 2 obstacles. Later, the king of Tridecagonal, which is his granddaughter Bertina, good luck to get the Tridecagonal Back Together potion in time before the sun sets on the 13th day. If she does, Cinderella and Prince Tridecagonal will love each other once again. But if not, Cinderella and Prince Tridecagonal will be divorced forever. The king of Tridecagonal then says, "Hold your horses!" Which reminds him of something. He whistles to call his pet wing horse, and when he was a wee little boy, and gives Bertina the kid-size armor, sword, and shield. And so, Bertina puts the kid-sized armor on, jumps onto the winged horse's back, says, "Yeah!" to them, make the winged horse go. Later, Bertina is halfway out of time. The sun set for the first 7 days. The first obstacle is cannonballs. Luckily, Bertina slices the cannonballs in half with her new sword. The second obstacle is arrows. Bertina uses her new shield to protect her and then slices the arrows with her sword. And just in time, she has the Tridecagonal back together potion. Later, back at Tridecagonal, Cinderella and Prince Tridecagonal are not divorced anymore. Just in time, and the king of Tridecagonal officially declares his granddaughter, Bertina, Tridecagonal's only flying knight, and they all lived happily ever after. The end. Andrew's Doers, I hope you enjoyed this story. And yes, maybe the 13 Cinderella sequels can be a monthly tradition. Tell your friends about 13 Cinderella 4, Puzzles Galore, something like that. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything, and buy our merchandise at AndrewDoesEverything.com. Remember, wait for 13 Cinderella 4, Puzzles Galore. And, take care! Bye!